Today we're going to be breaking down an entire deal from open to close. Garrett's the one setting the appointment. This was back when he had only been in solar for like a week or two, so you're going to tell that his pitch isn't perfectly polished, so we're going to break that down. And then Carlos is the one we set the appointment for, so he's going to close it down.
And he's going to share a lot of really good information with us. So let's get to it.
Whenever you have like work on it. Yeah, because then you gotta keep them at home.
Exactly. They need a father figure. How's it going, man?
Hey, how's it going?
Cool. So I'm just doing the net metering in the neighborhood, so I'm just required to talk to the homeowners. Are you the homeowner here, or do you guys? Okay. Cool. So should have gotten this notice in the mail with your last SG&E bill. Did you get a chance to look over that?
I never got it.
Okay. No worries. Sometimes it gets lost in the mail, but so I gotta get going pretty soon, but I'll give you the quick version real quick. Okay. So basically this is a low power consumption area, and we're actually working on the net metering 2.0, the phase 2. Essentially phase 1 would have been whenever they came out and replace the meter with the electronic meter.
Usually we don't pitch with sunglasses on, but this was a random time where the homeowner came out and he also had sunglasses on, so it kind of worked out.
About 5 years ago?
Yeah, I remember.
Right? Okay, cool. So since this is a low power consumption area, we're looking like a lot of the neighbors have like around $80 bills, something like that. And we're seeing which homes qualify. The reason being is because essentially we've shut down San Onofre and another power plant down in Chula Vista, and now we're pulling all of our power from out of state, right? And so it's been a really big problem, so we're having a lot of blackouts, right?
Man, it is just absolutely killing me hearing myself say it so and so many times.
But the solution to this problem is they're actually paying to and it's actually of no charge of all of our homeowners that's qualified. You've probably seen the solar on the house like a couple houses down. What they did is they install, maintain, and insure the solar onto the home at no cost to the homeowners. And then sort of the incentive for the homeowners, because this is ultimately required by 2030 for 50% of homes to be on renewables to help alleviate that grid. You're actually getting a little bit of a reduction in your monthly bills, which is awesome. But regardless, not to take too much time because we have to get going pretty soon. What we're doing today is seeing on your bill actually. So there's a bar graph right here, right? And so what we do is per monthly usage. This breaks down each month, and then what we do is we add that up on an annual basis to see if the home qualifies. What I can do is, do you do electronic or paper billing?
Paper.
Paper? Okay, so if you could go and grab one of those real quick, I'll go and check the meter. Is it on this side or that side?
This side.
This side? Okay, I'll go and check the meter to make sure that it matches up while you go and grab that, and then I'll meet you back here.
Okay.
All right.
And this is such a good way to phrase it too, because if you try to just command somebody to go grab the bill, it can come across a little bit too aggressive. But if you start by saying, okay, I'm gonna go do this, and you go ahead and grab your bill, and we'll meet back here. It doesn't have the same like bossy vibe to it that can sometimes turn people off.
Yes, it's natural and it shows that you're a team player.
59082.
So that was 59,000 kilowatts in the last 5 years?
Exactly, if this was done 5 years ago. And this is 1102, is that right?
No, it's 1040.
Okay, cool. Good to meet you. My name's Garrett.
Okay.
Here we go. And then that one said 59082. So electric 6969.
Nice.
Nice.
All right, right on. Yeah, so this does fall into that category, like I was saying before, like relatively close to the $70, $80 mark, right? And so what I'll do is, so what I'm gonna do is snap a photo of this bar graph right here. All right, and then what I'll do is it'll generate a savings report for you, and then we'll be able to drop off more information later on for you. Will you be around in about like an hour and a half? Do you have any plans?
I think so.
Okay, cool. And essentially, thank you so much, Roberto. Or I mean Jorge. I don't know where I got that.
Always get their name right. Think about it. I sound like a racist dude now. Because I'm like,
Well,
I don't know where I saw, I think one of his neighbors had that.
you don't have to explain yourself. We know.
I was working with someone earlier.
Okay.
Please excuse me. And then what I'll do is I'll swing by later on, and so keep that handy because we'll ultimately need it eventually. And get you a little bit more information. And so what I'll do is I hope you qualify. All right.
Okay.
All right, Jorge. Well,
Thank you.
good talking.
Okay.
And I wish you the best.
Okay.
All right. And it'll take about like 20 minutes or so. We'll let you know. And I hope you the best.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Take care.
All right, let's go get Carlos. The boss that's gonna try and Rosemary.
It's not good.
Hey.
Hey, Jorge.
Hey.
How you doing?
Okay.
Right on. Well, cool. Good seeing you.
Take it across, my friend.
So,
Carlos, good to meet
this
you,
is
man.
Carlos, and then of course Derek from earlier.
Awesome. Dig that watch. What kind of guy is that?
I think it's a Seiko.
He is a Seiko.
Oh yeah, I do.
Yeah.
He's a Seiko guy.
Yeah.
Those are dope watches, man. You're good to go in like rain or anything. So I got the numbers for you. I just wanted to cover a couple quick things with you. I just need a little part of your table. Is there better inside, or do you want to do it outside in the back?
We can do it inside.
Okay, cool. All right. Do one shoes on or off?
It's always funny to ask someone if shoes on or off whenever their house is
You want
mostly made of
some
termites.
water or something?
Water would be exceptional, actually.
Want to hear anything?
So how long have you lived in San Diego?
30 years.
30 years? Wow, you're OG out here. And when did you get the house?
Huh?
When did you buy the house?
My dad bought it in 1991,
Okay.
but he died 9 years ago.
Okay.
And then my mother died 2 years. It'll be 2 years in June next month.
Okay.
So in this situation, do not start talking about their deaths. Do not ask them questions about the deaths, because all you're doing is standing on landmines on a repeated basis. You come from the heart, you feel someone genuine, but you have to move on in order to be able to actually get to what you need. Because it does not benefit him in order to have you as his personal therapist. There's no gain in that whatsoever. That's not your job. Your job is to lower his bills in order to make his life better, so then he can use his friends to help him deal with the situations, not you.
Fair enough. So you're basically gifted the house after that, and it looks like you've been doing a good job taking care of everything.
Yeah.
So definitely accomplishment on that end. So just so I make clear, I'm sure you've looked into solar and stuff like that, or other energy programs in the past. So just so I'm not repeating myself, what have you kind of heard, like, so that I can just get a little info on that?
Well, I have a relative who got that solar thing,
Okay.
and
You immediately start doing stuff as soon as they start talking to you. That allows them to feel as if there is momentum being built, then they're not going to be there forever, as well as breaking preoccupation on a consistent basis. Whenever you see anyone do any actual job, they're rarely just standing and looking at you unless they're getting paid to do so.
well, he just said that I guess he saves energy or something like that.
Okay.
That's what he said.
Okay. So he didn't tell you about like it saving him money or anything else like that? Got it. So there's a couple ways to get solar, and I'll kind of go over a couple of those. Basically 3 main ways. To be honest, if you go either route, it'll genuinely save you money, because in San Diego, we spend actually more for energy than anywhere else in the country. I mean, I'm sure you know that we basically spend more money on everything, right? Everything from milk to houses to property taxes and everything else.
Everything.
Yeah.
If you're afraid to grab a water and drink while you're talking, that shows that you're afraid to actually have a conversation with the person. that sticks you up in a situation in which you're constantly being worried that they're not actually listening. That's why people fill a lot of conversations with ums, which I do a consistent amount of times in here, and I'm still working on a little bit. But always be okay with taking a breath any single time you're ever doing it close. And grabbing a little bit of water and having a little drink allows you to recycle back and think back and be able to live back in the present as soon as that water goes down.
And the only way you can kind of get a savings is if you go with the motion of kind of what they're trying to enact and trying to pull forward. So right now, do you remember when they closed the San Onofre power plant a couple years back?
I didn't even know it was closed.
Yeah, they closed that one about 10 years ago. And then, do you remember there was a power plant on F Street out in Chula Vista?
I think so.
Do you remember when? Do you see how I'm talking? Like that? It's all called light bulb moments. So what they want to feel like on a consistent basis is that you're not coming from a rehearsed place, right? It doesn't feel like you're saying something that you've told 1,000 other people in your life. Mm-hmm. It's more a matter of these are things you're coming up with right now, not things that you'll hopefully come up or something that's consistently rehearsed.
Yeah, so they closed that guy down too. And so that was all part of their environmental regulations and all that good stuff. Well, what happened with that was after that got closed, there was a decision made to start basically trying to lower the amount of power that people are using. And so that's when they switched out your guys' meters. Do you remember they switched from the clock meter to the digital meter? That let us know exactly how much power you're using during certain times of the day. Because you've heard about that time of use thing, right? Yeah. Where you get charged more depending on 4 to 9. Yeah. And so with that 4 to 9 thing, basically you're getting punished depending on being able to use your power. And I personally, if I'm going to be spending a lot on property taxes, mortgages, or anything else, I want to be able to use power when I want to be able to use power. That's just kind of how I live my life. I think that's our obligation, and you know, as Americans, to be able to use power whenever we want, right? So that's one. But two, the other thing that they were doing on there was they're trying to turn the power backwards, where basically energy is being produced at the house, and that's why you've seen so many solar power panels appearing out here. Now, solar panels appearing in National City is actually relatively new. The majority of times that people went solar in the past is because they spent a lot of money up front, like doing cash deals, loans, all like that with solar. Honestly, for houses like this, that makes no sense. This is called the lower usage home. Like, so I was doing a little research on your bill, and I was trying to kind of figuring out exactly how much you're spending per month, because this last month was one of your lower bills, right? Yeah. You'd agree it was about $69. It's a low bill. What would you say your average bill is?
Well, I mean, for gas and electricity, I pay like 100 something for both. It was 101. I already sent the payment yesterday.
Yeah.
It's due June 1st, but I always send it before.
So it was a paper bill, right, that you checked? Mm-hmm. Would you mind grabbing that real quick? I just want to show you a couple quick things on there. So check this out. This is obviously a low bill for you because do you see how this gives us 12 months usage? This lets us know how much power you're using for all those 12 months. Okay? So this month it was 328 kilowatts. But you've had months as high as 820 kilowatts in September. So do you have a little AC or something? Do you have a little fan?
I have, during the summer I use fans.
Okay, fair enough. So let me show you something real quick, because
I have 2 in the living room, I have this one, 2 in my room, and then my roommates use fans, I guess, that's why.
Got it. So if we look at SDG&E total electricity rates, I'll be able to reverse engineer and figure out exactly how much you're spending for your electric, right? So that we can make sure we're comparing apples to apples. So I'm at their website right now, and so I'm going to click the CARE rates, because you're on CARE, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for the low income. Cool. So right now, if we scroll in, you're spending 21 and 26 cents per kilowatt hour for your energy. So if we do the mixture of both, you know how they do that, right? Where basically the more you use, the more they charge. It's like the right now with SDG&E for, let me jot that down one more time. It's 6,192 kilowatts. Do you know how much you would have been spending 10 years ago?
No.
Well, let's see. So we're going to go to their website. This is CARE rates, 2010. 10 cents and 11 cents. Right?
Oh wow.
So let me show you here. 61.92 times 0.11. The same amount of power. In the past, we got 56 bucks. So this went from $56 to $123. Nothing has went up that much except Bitcoin in that amount of time, right? Now, SDG&E total, like, so, do you know about the rate increase? Did they tell you about that?
No.
Okay, so we pay attention to that type of stuff because we're in solar, obviously. I think it's important for homeowners to know a lot of those things, though, because you guys are going to be carrying the bill. The benefit for you is we can get you off of all these crazy high rate increases because, check this out, they're going to raise their rates up another 28%. So if we do the math there, let's take a look. 123 times 1.28. In the future, you're looking at a bill of $157 with SDG&E.
So what's happening here is I start off every one of my closes the same way I start off any pitch. You are going with the angle of creating a narrative, a story that justifies your existence in their world right now. You make them emotionally agree with everything that you're saying, and then you take care of the analytical portions of their brain to be able to clean up any of the work. Because if you just leave them to the emotion and then try to go straight to credit or sign up or whatever, you may get them that day, but you might not get them to install. And that's what separates this from something like pest control or alarms where you're getting same-day installations, things like that. You have to keep a relationship with this person for the next year, 2 years, or whatnot, depending on your install or depending on how many referrals you're trying to get in that situation. And so what you got to leave them with is, yes, there was a story that you told that they agreed to, but they have to feel at the end that there were some numbers or justification that made it all make sense. And so they carry with that every single moment of every single day whenever they think about you and the relationship that you have with them.
So we definitely want to take care of the responsibility check just to ensure that everything's good there. And just to let you know, it doesn't negatively affect the credit score. It's a soft check. So it lets us know pass or fail, right? And so we'll be able to tell them. So that's one thing there. And then we'll go over the docs as well to make sure that everything's good to go. Are you the only one on title now?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So we'll go ahead and knock out the responsibility check portion. I just need to make sure I get a couple things changed on here. And then what was the date of birth? All right, and then social. One last question I wanted to ask you. Are you using about the amount of power that you want to be using, or would you use more power if you could?
I think I'm using what I want to use.
It looks like that. From the product perspective, you understand how the solar panel works, right?
Yeah.
Produce the energy on the roof, and then it gets you in a lower rate than we're currently paying, because you're paying about 25 cents per kilowatt hour for that power, right? And then the site survey, it's actually pretty neat. They're just going to come out with a drone to check out everything. And basically what it does is it allows us to be able to see a full 3D take on the entire home to figure out exactly where to put the panels and everything. And then we'll come back and I'll have like where the conduit line is going to go and all that information. So just letting you know, we're using 12 solar panels to cover 110% of your current electricity usage. We warranty, insure, and maintain the system. We're going to provide you 6,838 kilowatts. If you remember, you used 6,192 kilowatts last year, so it's about 10% more. We guarantee the production of the solar system during that time. There's a 25-year warranty on the maintenance, insurance, and production of the system. Yeah. But cool, so let's knock out this part and then we'll set up the site survey. Cool. You can click this guy for me? Thank you. And then click that one. And then that'll be it. So I have availability. So site survey, we can do Tuesday. I have an 8, a 10, a 12, a 2, or a 3. Which time works best for you?
Later in the day.
When do we do like 2?
Okay.
Cool. It was a pleasure meeting you. We'll be in communication. I'll be your main point of contact from A to Z, including after installation.
Okay.
Again, site survey is Friday at 2. There we go. All right, call me if you got any questions, okay?
Okay.
It's been a pleasure, my friend.
Okay, thank you.
So that was Carlos Morales. He is the best closer that I've ever worked with. Pretty much every single appointment that I've sat in with him has closed. So feel free to comment and critique things that both Garrett and Carlos could have done better. Curious to see what your guys' thoughts are on everything. We are going to be making more content, so make sure to stay tuned.